All right, so when we have fractions with different denominators, we can't add them and subtract them until we make them have the same denominator, right? So let's look at these two fractions, rational exponents here. I have 8 over x squared minus 2x minus 3, and the other one is 3x over x squared plus 4x plus 3. So this problem doesn't say add them or subtract them, just say find the LCD. This is the lowest common denominator. And then it says rewrite them as equivalent rational expression with the lowest common denominator. Okay, so this is how this works. You're going to factor all the denominators only. So I'm going to factor this first denominator. This is x minus 3 and x plus 1. And this one, we have 3x over, and this is x plus 3, x plus 1. Okay. Now you're going to look at all the separate factors. So we have x minus 3 is a factor, x plus 1 is a factor, and then we have x plus 3 here, and we have x plus 1 again. Okay. So notice that the x plus 1 is common to both of them. So sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't, that they have one in common, or two in common, or none in common, right? So now my goal is to make them have the same denominator. And you can do that by multiplying top and bottom by the same thing. So you are rewriting them as equivalent expression, okay? So basically what we want to do is like look between the two and see what it's missing that the other one has. So this has an x minus 3 and this one doesn't. So you're going to put an x minus 3 next to here. You're multiplying the denominator by it. But because we don't want to change the fraction, we want to basically multiply by 1. It's kind of the opposite of canceling factors, right? You're going to multiply the top by x minus 3 too. Okay, so that x minus 3 came from here. It's like this one has an x minus 3 and this one doesn't, so I'm going to give it to him. Okay, but again, you can only sort of give it to a fraction by multiplying both top and bottom, because in effect what you're doing is you're multiplying by 1, so you're not changing the number. Now you want to balance it. So here it's like, well, this one has an x plus 3 and this one doesn't. So we're going to put an x plus 3 here. And you also need to put it to the top so you don't change what the actual value of the fraction is. And now you kind of check as you're doing this, the balancing, the juggling act, right? Your goal is to make them have exactly the same factor. So after you kind of do it once or twice, right? Then you check. It's like, are they all the same factors? And you go, yeah, they are. They all have 3 factors. X plus 3 appears in both. X minus 3 appears in both. X plus 1 appears in both. Okay? So that x plus 1, because already the 2 fractions had it, you didn't need to give it to the other one because it already had it. Right? So this is what this problem was asking us to do. Just build up or rewrite the fractions so they have the same denominator. After this, if you ask to add them, then you add them. If you ask to subtract them, you subtract them. But for this problem, we stop here. We were meant to just rewrite the fractions with the common denominator.